Hi everybody, Andarki, praise the Lord. So today I want to speak on beauty, andham. So one day, we live in a world where we praise beauty, we admire beauty without even knowing what true beauty is. అందం అంటే నిజమైన అర్థం తెలియకుండానే ఆరాధిస్తామండి. We praise beauty without even knowing not what beauty is. We see what looks good and we call it beautiful. But do you want to know what God actually calls beautiful? He calls holiness as beautiful. He calls obedience as beautiful. And He calls character as beautiful. So the devil's first weapon was beauty. He tempted Adam and Eve with beauty by showing how beautiful the fruits were, how beautiful the tree was. The scripture says it didn't taste good. It says it looked good. So the first weapon of the devil was beauty. So sometimes the most dangerous thing in your life can be the most beautiful thing in your life. Mariyu Adamu Mariyu Avva అందాన్ని చూసి వాళ్ళ పిలుపుని కోల్పోయారండి. They saw the outward appearance and then they lost their calling. And on the other hand, God didn't choose David because he is beautiful, but He chose David because he has a heart of beauty, a heart of purity. It says in the scriptures that David's brothers were way more beautiful to look upon than David, but God didn't choose them. He chose David. And this proves to you that God does not look like you and I see. He sees the inward man. He sees the character. He sees the integrity and He sees the obedience. He calls, obedience as the most beautiful thing ever. He chose Abraham because Abraham was obedient. He chose David because David was obedient. And He chose the disciples because all those disciples were obedient. So let me end on this note. The most beautiful person is not the person who is looking good, but the person who is looking more like Jesus. Because, beauty attracts attention, but holiness attracts heaven. ఇక్కడ చూసుకుంటే నిజంగా అందంగా ఉండే జీవితం అంటే యేసులాగా జీవించి, యేసులాగా ప్రవర్తించి, యేసులాగా బ్రతికితే అంతకన్నా అందమైన జీవితం వేరేది ఉండదండి. ఇట్ ఈస్ బ్యూటీ ఇన్ ఇట్స్ ప్యూరెస్ట్ ఫార్మ్, topmost form. So, I'm going to say the same thing. Beauty attracts attention and holiness attracts heaven.